Get ready to set up. Oh, hello. Look, we're live and I haven't set up properly. Oh, dear. You know it's going to be a good day when nothing works right, aren't you? Good morning, everyone. How are you, lovely ladies? It is really good to be coming live again on a Thursday morning for our Business Members Spotlight, where every week we interview an amazing member of our group and find out all about you and your business. Today we have the wonderful Deb Marven with us. Hello, Deb. How are you going, lovely lady?
Hello, I'm excellent, Ellie. So nice to be here.
Awesome. Yes, and we've connected through our own business coach. But what I'm looking forward today is getting to know a little bit more about you personally and also what you do in business. So I'm very excited to see what's going to transpire today.
Excellent. Yes, so great to
So
be here.
So tell us, Deb, a little bit about what you do and maybe how you got into doing what you do. While I'm doing that, I'm also going to set up to make sure that I can see everyone's comments.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm a relationship coach. I'm an igniter of hope. So I bring hope to people and I show them what's possible. And years ago, I would never have imagined going down that sort of a path. But life, it takes you on interesting journeys and pathways. And so for me, I just to give you a bit of background, I got to my late 30s. I'd been in and out of relationships. I'd sort of be with guys for a few months and then get bored or it wouldn't work or I was constantly on the horse, off the horse, on the horse, off the horse. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that, whether it's with relationships or life, right? It's this journey, we like to think it's this trajectory, you kind of go up like that, but no, there was lots of that, lots of ways. And
Sometimes it's like this, and then it goes like that.
that's it. Oh, yeah, we get that too. Well, I had that, and my that was in my mid 30s. I was, climbing the corporate ladder, go, 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 doing all that stuff. And then I literally had exactly what you're saying, Ellie, one of those.
Yeah.
And I discovered these lumps on my neck, went to the doctor. The doctor said, let's do tests. Next thing you know, I'm sent home with glandular fever. 1 month, 2 months, a year, nearly 2 years. So,
Wow.
yeah, full on. Broke up with my boyfriend, quit my job, and literally had to just stop. And so that was one of the hardest times of my life. And it was in that time that I had to learn another way to survive. My old model of the world was let's take action, let's do, let's move, right? That didn't work because I literally in a given day had to decide, do I have enough energy to have a shower or can I ring a friend and have someone come over for coffee? Like I literally didn't even have to do anything and it exhausted me.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do I create life if I can't take action? What does life even look like without action? And so bit by bit, I started to get better and better. And then I got my health back. Then I started getting into law of attraction and learning different ways to create my life. Not to say you don't take action, but to create first, to vibrationally create. And at the time, I'm like, what does that even mean? But how to get into that space of feeling into it, creating what it's like before it's happened in your actual reality. So I got better, which was amazing. It was a journey. I got myself better, and I've got a whole book about how I got better. So I wrote a book called Sick and Tired of It, Book of Hope. Actually, I've got here, this is a card that I've got that I share now with doctors.
Oh,
Details, it's a little business card. So people can purchase the book, which was endorsed by a doctor, which is amazing. So that was that journey. And I kind of take that and go, I love helping people, but I wanted to take that and use that in a way that's really relevant to me in my life and where it led to from there. So there I was in my late 30s, mid to late 30s, single, wondering where the hell my man was.
where is he? Where is he? Where is he?
He's not there. I'll try there, try there, try there. Where is my man? And my friends were married. They were getting married off. As it happens for so many of us, women and men, But, in our later 30s, you feel the clock ticking. And I hate the clock. We all hate the clock, right? But the reality is there's a time limit if you want to have kids.
Yeah.
I have heard now it's age 52 if you use donor sperm and egg, but maybe that's a separate conversation.
Well, just to go off on a tangent, I'm kind of good at that. I'm happy about that because I'm turning 50 this year, but my kids are in the mid-20s, so
Yeah.
it's not going to happen.
Oh, you can start again.
No, I'm good. No, I'm good. Thanks. I love being an empty nester. Anyway, that was a bit of an aside.
I don't know what that's like anymore. I've got a beautiful 5-year-old. The house is full of energy and joy all the time. Yeah, it's beautiful. So there I was in my late 30s, Ali, single, friends hooking up, even my younger brother. He was married and already they'd popped out a couple of kids. And, I'll be honest, that was a trigger point at that time because, I had this perception, as so many of us do, that you're supposed to do it before your younger siblings. So I thought, yeah.
I hear that, and we even had that. Even though like I'm the eldest, and I got married first, and I had kids first. There's even that. I know that my sister-in-law, they got married later, in their later than me, I would say, like in their early 30s, and then they didn't have kids until their mid 30s, and everyone's going, well, it's too. Why are you starting so late? Because the society says that you need to be married by a certain time, you need to have kids by a certain time.
Yes.
My question is why?
Exactly. And if you're not, what's wrong with you? Why is there something wrong with you?
Yeah.
Why can't we all choose our path at the time that's right for us? But I guess that's what's hard as well. Is it a choice? To a lot of people and a lot of women I work with now as a relationship coach, it doesn't feel like a choice. These women are wanting it. And I was wanting it. It's like, where is this man? So I decided I will do whatever it takes. I will drench myself in whatever information I need to. I will learn whatever I need to learn. Just help me live a different life to what I'm living. Now, that's not to say there weren't good aspects of my life. Work was going great, family, friends, but the relationship, that was my area. We have an area. We often have an area that's just not thriving. And that was, I told you that was that.
Yeah.
So I did the work and I went from my head into my heart space and I got myself a coach and I did what I needed to do and I could feel that my energy was rising. I went from feeling like there's no one out there to starting to picture this beautiful, beautiful man that was coming into my life. And there was this part of me that felt like, and I didn't say this to anyone because I put a big smile, everything's great, life's good. But I felt like I'd missed the boat. I felt like, it just wasn't happening for me. And I just didn't share that part of myself because as women, we don't share that. We keep it together. We got our shit. I say shit. We got our stuff together.
You can swear, that's fine. We're real life here.
So I did all of that. And then I did this neuro-linguistic programming course and I learned all about the power of reframing. Yeah. And so I went from picturing or feeling like I'd missed the boat to picturing this beautiful man on a boat alley calling out to me, Deb, here I am. Where are you, Deb?
I can picture that too. And so what happened? Did it come true?
Everything changed after that. I started feeling like he was close. I went to a wedding about a week later and people said to me, Deb, you're looking amazing. What's happened? What's going on? And all that had happened was I'd shifted my thoughts. I was still single. I was still in the same situation, but I felt different. And so I kept doing the work and I documented everything that I did, everything. And then I felt this inspiration to go online and I had this website come up in front of me 3 times. And I'm like, I need to go on here. I can feel it. I'm ready. And so I went online and I'd been looking for a guy that started the day, happy. I wanted someone with a positive outlook. And within a couple of days, I saw this guy's profile and I read it. I looked at his picture and I loved the picture straight away. And I looked at what he wrote and he said, When you start the day with a smile, the rest of the day is cake.
Ooh.
And as I read his whole profile, I say my soul said, oh my gosh, he exists. That's what I said to myself.
Wow.
So I messaged him, he messaged me, we organised to catch up that day at work. I remember at lunchtime, I had this feeling, I wonder if it's him. Now, I've been on a lot of dates over time, and I never thought that. And I wonder if it's him. So there I am that night, driving. I've got a half-hour drive to meet him. And it's bumper to bumper traffic. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be so late. This is so embarrassing. Ah! And I'm starting to freak out in the car. And so I called him, messaged him, couldn't get through. And then I thought to myself, Deb, relax. If he leaves, he's not for you. If he's angry, he's not for you.
Love it.
Maybe he's there and it's for you. So I just felt myself just then, just relax and go, right, I'm going to enjoy the rest of this drive. Here I go, exactly, breathe, deep breath.
And so did it work out?
I get to the restaurant. Meanwhile, his phone had died, which is why I didn't hear from him. He's got the restaurant charging it. He goes back and forth across the road because he gave me the right address but the wrong address that day, and he gave me the address on the other side of the road. So he's going back, forth. About 20 minutes late, we meet on the other side of the road. I know straight away how right it is. He does too, I find out, but I can feel it. We go into the restaurant, we sit down, and the waitress comes over. She knows he's been trying to locate me outside. She comes over, she looks at both of us and she says, oh, you guys finally found each other.
Wow. Oh, that
is our story.
Wow, that's amazing. Oh, that gives me goosebumps. That's so exciting. And I can kind of relate because I met my man, and I call him my third time lucky man because I've had some ups and downs. I've divorced twice, right? And I met him online on a dating site. And when we met for coffee, and he's 7'2" redhead, so when you can't miss him in a crowd.
I've seen how tall he is in pictures. He looks gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. So when we met for coffee. It was meant to be, and it was one of those things where you had, I had a friend, call me in 20 minutes and I'll let you know if it's not going well.
Good to have that getaway plan.
Within 5 minutes, I had reached down and put my phone on silent because I was like,
oh, that's beautiful.
And what was meant to be like a half-hour coffee turned into like a 4-hour date where we just couldn't. I get it when you just know it's right. And now we've been together for 10 years this year.
Oh, how beautiful!
Lovely. Oh,
yeah. So true. I know. I'm feeling all the love stuff.
I know. So you are a relationship coach. So is that essentially like what brought you into doing this line of work?
Yeah, exactly. So I thought to myself, I am about inspiring people. I love helping people shift their thinking. And I was passionate about, the chronic fatigue when I went through it. And I do help people in a range of different ways. From a coaching point of view, and where I put most of my energy is in helping people with relationships. So I work with women predominantly, and what we do is we clear the stuff. We get rid of the exes, we get rid of the energy, all the stuff with the exes, all the things we think about relationships and about men. A lot of women come to me and they think, they feel men, they've had experiences of whether it be cheating, and I'm not saying all men cheat, absolutely not. No. People have these experiences and they sit with them and then they hold on to them. And, as you know as well, right? We both know so much about people and how they create stories in life, and then that creates and leads into their future. So I help people clear whatever's there, fill up their cups, and then raise their energy so they get excited about this beautiful man that's on the way like I did. So I'm a believer in teaching what I've done and what I know. Now, that's not to say everyone's got the same story, but that excites me to help people from a place of having done it myself. And because I documented it and did it, I created the Manifest the One program 5 years ago, and now I've had almost 100 people go through the program. So, and we've got like relationships, I've got a baby on the way, people living together, story after story about people, getting together. It's so beautiful to watch. I'm getting ready for the first wedding. I'm excited for the first wedding. But yeah, it feeds my soul doing this work, Ali. It just, when you just, and as well, I see how passionate you are about what you do, right? It's finding that thing. And so that's what I do. That's how I help people.
It is, and that's what I love. Every time I interview someone on Thursday mornings, I always can feel, and especially when you were talking about that just then, oh my God, I can just literally feel your passion coming through the screen about what you do. And isn't it amazing? And again, every time I do one of these interviews, it's the way we were led into doing what we do, and because we're so passionate about it, so like I said, we can feel your passion because you're so passionate about it. That's why you're having the success, because you get it, you've lived it, you get it. Not everyone's stories are the same, but you've lived it. So I just I don't know what to say. Well done, because it's not very often that I'm speechless, so
I'll take that as a compliment. But it just feels so good just to, I guess for so many years I was trying to figure that journey out. And so just to reduce that time frame for people, and the pain and the upset and the loneliness or the questioning every time you get that phone call from someone that says, I'm getting married, I'm having a baby, and you're like all excited for them, or you try to be, but there's this part of you that goes, what about me? When is it going to happen for me?
Sometimes it's like that in business, isn't it?
Yes.
When you've got maybe an accountability partner and someone says, I've just made this big sale, and you might be sitting on the other end feeling a little bit down that day, and you just go, what about me? But you want to be happy for them, and you are.
It's two parts, right? You can very much be happy for them, but then we've got our own personal reaction to it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's so true. It applies to business 200%.
Yeah, and I love that. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but you're taking almost by helping people the way you do, you're taking away that pressure of them having. You're helping take away that pressure of them having to think, well, I've got to be married, I've got to have a boyfriend, I've got to get married, I've got to have a kid at a certain age time.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's letting go of that expectation of how it's supposed to look. I don't know what your picture was for you, but for me, I was supposed to be married by 28. And when 28 came and it hadn't happened, there was this disappointment, like these time frames we put on ourselves, or I need X amount of business success by a certain date, or I'm whatever word we attach to it, worthless, I'm not good enough, So letting go of those expectations, I'm dropping them down, of like when time frames need to be.
Yeah, and I was going to say, my story was similar but very different. Like, I was raised in the church. To be a successful woman, you're expected to get married young, have kids young, and be a good housewife. And that was what was literally like, it was like living back in the 50s. That's how it felt. So I was a good girl, and I got married at 20.
Right.
I had kids at 22 and 23, so quite young, when I really honestly wasn't ready for it. Yeah. And then that relationship didn't work. There was a lot of reasons. It was domestically violent. But even after that relationship ended and I was a single mum, there was something in me that said, to be a complete person or a complete woman, I had to have a significant other in my life and provide my children with the father figure. So that was my reason for then going and searching and finding very quickly a second husband. And both of us got married for all the wrong reasons. So again, I said divorce twice. That marriage didn't work. But it wasn't until, like you said, that I let everything go. I put it down. I just let it go and put it down. And I'm like, you know what? I don't need a man in my life. If one comes along, awesome.
Yes.
And when I
did a great place to be. Yeah.
He came along. There he was.
That's exactly it. When we let go, isn't that beautiful to hear? I love hearing that story, right?
Yeah.
It's about letting go. And when we let go of that expectation, because you feel it as well, don't you notice when someone is needy, whether it's business needy or they're on a date needy, you can feel that energy. There's something sticky about it.
Yeah, and if I'm honest, when I think about my second marriage, more the first. Sorry, I just had a bit of dust flying there. More the the first marriage was I wanted it, but the second one was because I felt that I needed it. And if I'm honest with myself, really, at that stage, it was like I was desperate, he was desperate. We were both desperate, and we didn't want to admit it. So that's what I mean when I say we got married for all the wrong reasons.
Yes, and when you come from that place, it's not surprising that it doesn't work out. But at the time, we're all doing the best we can. I always, look at Maya Angelou and, I'm doing the best I can. And when I know better, I know better. And that's, it's so beautiful, isn't it, to look back on life and notice, watch those things, observe them and go, wow, look what I'm creating now, or look what I've created.
Absolutely, that's awesome. So tell us a little bit, Deb, how you specifically. So you mentioned your program, and I'm sorry I can't remember what you called it.
Manifest the One.
Manifest the One. Tell us a little bit about that. I love that title.
Yeah, absolutely. So the program is all about clearing the stuff and making space. And firstly, like we were saying before, making peace with where you are. Because if you've got that angst going on, where is he? Why hasn't he come? What's wrong with me? Because he's not here. I'm not looking good enough, right? There's all these things. So we look at breaking it down and clearing that space so that you can then move forward. So I have a 6-week program, and in that program, we clear and we make space, and we start to get into the space of picturing our future and getting clear on what are we saying to ourselves, and really just clearing the junk out. Whatever's there, clearing it out. And from there, we go and we look at manifesting, and we lift our vibrations. So we go from, for some people, it's there's no one out there, to, oh, I can see that, he's on his way, to, oh my gosh, I can feel he's really close. And with that, for a lot of women, it's going from a place where their heart feels, whether it's broken or just closed off, to just starting to open up again and allow them to just bring, firstly to themselves. What I do is I promise through the work I do that people find love. First it's finding it within themselves, because when we feel that within ourselves, then we're able to exude that to others, so it's not obviously walking around going, I'm amazing, and,
you can,
but, feeling that internally, being kind to yourself, forgiving yourself, all that sort of stuff, but finding that peace in yourself and then creating. So whilst it's very much relationship based, and I help people hugely, I'm all about results, shift where they're at and create the futures they want. As I'm sure with you, when you're working on people with people on business, it has byproducts in different other areas of their lives as well. So yeah,
absolutely, it's the confidence that comes out.
yeah,
When both personally and in business, and it's the confidence. And as you were talking then, I actually just had a situation come to my mind that happened to me.
yeah,
When I'd left my second husband and I dropped all the crap, right, and I was just like, I am who I am. I felt that, and I call it being really just confident in yourself, shoulders back, boobs out type thing. Here I am. And I remember walking through the shopping centre. I was doing my grocery shopping, and I was just doing it. And I remember walking around the corner, and this really hot guy looked me in the eye, and then he looked me up and down, and he gave me this massive flirty grin. Like nothing happened, but I was just like, damn. And it's not, and it wasn't being headed. It was just like there must have been something that I was putting out there.
I think you said it. I think those words, I am who I am, right? That might be part of it. I just heard those words and they really resonated deeply for me. Just that this is me, this is my space, I'm owning this space, and there's something really sexy and beautiful about that, right? Our flaws, everything, owning all of it.
Yeah, and then it exudes when you get to that point. It exudes out of you. And like you would do it with people in their personal life. I help people do it in their business life and personal as well. But so I totally get it. It's the subconscious energy that we put out there. Oh my goodness, Deb. This has been, I could talk about this forever. Seriously.
Talk to you forever. This is awesome.
It is awesome. What I would love, do you have something that maybe you would like to offer our ladies who are watching today?
Yes, absolutely. So for the ladies watching, I just wanted to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. It's so wonderful to connect with you guys. What I'd like to offer is an opportunity for people to have a pattern discovery call. So what that is, it's half an hour with me on Zoom where I help you. We identify what it is that's holding you back from relationships, what it is that's stopping you. So more than happy to do that. My gorgeous assistant, Karen, is going to put the details there as well. And I just wanted to mention as well that I've got an event coming up on the 18th of May on Meetup called Raising Your Vibration. So people are more than welcome to come to that event as well. It's free and it's all about my vision for it is that you leave feeling more inspired than you did when you arrived. So come along, come join us, and we'll have lots of fun together.
Awesome. That sounds fantastic. So there you go, ladies. We'll have links going in the comments in the chat if you would like to connect with one of those pattern discovery calls with Deb. I know Deb, she's an amazing lady, and if you haven't gotten how amazing she is out of this interview, well, you need to go and do a discovery call. I can tell you she's great.
You're beautiful. Thank you, Ali. So good to be with you.
No worries, my darling. Thank you for coming on today. And ladies, we will see you again in the group very shortly. If you would like to book in for one of these interviews, please private message me and we will certainly book you in. These interviews are actually open to every single one of our members in the group. So if you haven't already had an interview with us, please feel free to book in. Thanks again, Deb.
Thank you so much. Been a pleasure. And to everyone else, come join Ali. It's so much fun being here chatting to her.
So much fun. All right, lovely ladies. We'll see you again next week.
Bye. Have a great day. Bye.